Well, for more on the story, joining us now from Beirut is Sami Nader. He's the director at the Levant Institute for Strategic Affairs. Good to have you back with us, Sami. Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel's latest strike against Hezbollah is not the end of the story. Hezbollah, for its part, says that its latest attacks are just the first phase. Are you expecting a further escalation in hostilities between the two sides?
Definitely. I think what we have seen this morning is a major escalation, whether in terms of scope or whether in terms of intensity. This military operation is unprecedented since October 7, even since the last full-scale war in 2006 between Hezbollah and Israel. And it has the potential to propel the whole region into a full-blown war. Why? Because all the diplomatic efforts that have been deployed up to now in order to find a political settlement between Hezbollah and Israel have failed. And the 1701 resolution that is still not implemented, and so all the ingredients for further escalation are in place. Up to now, I mean, both parties can claim victories or wins, if we can say so. Hezbollah can say that finally he responded and he retaliated and avenged the assassination of Fuad Shukr in the very stronghold of Hezbollah in southern Beirut. And Israel could claim as well that it's a preemptive strike foiled the Hezbollah plan to hit deeply inside Israel. But what is relevant also is like both parties, and despite the fact that things are on an escalation course, are trying to avoid any miscalculation to go into a full-blown war. Hezbollah, I mean, targeted this morning a military site, military bases. He was cautious not to hit civilian, and from the Israel side, the preemptive strike was confined to southern Lebanon. No strikes in the Bekaa Valley, in the deep country, no targeting to the capital Beirut, and everything look, even though things are escalating in terms of intensity, in terms of scope, though both parties are trying to avoid a full-scale war that would be very damaging, devastating for both parties.
And one key way to avoid a full-blown regional war is for there to be a ceasefire in Gaza. We know talks for a truce have resumed in Cairo. These talks will now have the participation of Hamas. The Qatari Prime Minister was reportedly due to attend as well. But how might these rising hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah impact those talks?
Yeah, one could, I mean, have some concern that this morning operation would offer Israel the justification not to go to the negotiation, but it seems that they finally decided to go. Now, for linking what's happening on the northern front, I mean, the front between Israel and Lebanon, to what's happening in Gaza, definitely a ceasefire deal will ease that situation, at least from the Iranian and Hezbollah side, because since October 8, one day after October 7, when they waged this war of support, they said this is a war to support the Palestinian in Gaza, and they will stop it once this war stops. But this does not seem to be the case from Israel perspective. From the Israeli perspective, these are two separating tracks. These are two different challenges to different threats that are posed to Israel, and it doesn't mean at all if a deal is reached on the Gaza front, Israel will not try to change the rule of engagement prevailing between Israel and Lebanon, because they are determined to close this front in order to facilitate the return of the Israelis living in northern Galilee into their homes.
Okay, Sami Nader, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you, as always, for joining us on the program.